And now therefore, we pledge to come together. In this united democratic front. And fight side by side. Against the government's constitutional proposal. And the Cornwall Bill. UDF! 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 UDF!
We can actually see, the moving forward, and the rising of the consciousness of the people,
We think it's a great thing. I think this is going to lead to liberation.
It is quite a more way of the unity in terms of the democratically people participating for a common issue, which is the government proposal, this reformers proposal. The unity which is being waged and being shown by the UDF democratically, where about many people from all over the country, from Messina to Cape Town, from Durban to other places, they've showed the response. It shows that the people have the common goal, which is only the unification. And for that matter, even in the future country, it will be a participating on the people's basis, and that country will only going to be based on the will of the people, which now is being shown by the UDF itself from this launching of it.
Indication at the moment of numbers, organizations and registrations.
We had at the time when we came into the conference 320 organizations represented. I gave earlier on some broad categories indicating that the organizations had come from a broad range of organizations and from all parts of South Africa. At least 600 delegates out there. Organizations, particularly those outside Cape Town, have also been allowed observers to the conference, in addition to delegates. The conference itself is open to affiliated members, member organizations with delegate representation who have been prepared to sign our declaration of support. And the conference is open only to participants of that character, and these people, affiliated organizations, were in fact invited to the conference. As far as the rally is concerned, the rally is a totally public affair to which any person is welcome at any time.
On behalf of the people of the Western Cape, the steering committee, the executive of the Western Cape, our president, Mr. Dr. Mpeta, and our leaders who are in detention, banished, killed and harmed. On behalf of these people, I want to welcome all the delegates from the different provinces, and I hope that this afternoon, in this historical occasion, that we, the people who are united, will never be defeated. Amanda! Amanda!
This day, today, is a culmination of 7 months' work to see the launching of the National United Democratic Front, which is sure going to go into the record of history as an important event, bolstering the tide of the struggle, speeding up that day when the people shall say, "We are free, justice is here," when the people shall live together as brothers and sisters without the exploitation and oppression of the other. The idea of a front, therefore, was a new concept in the struggle of the people for the last 20 years above, and it was understood to be standing for unity in action, accepting the fact that all the organizations coming together have got differences. There are also differences of class, differences of ideology, differences of intent, but all of them agree that they reject the reform proposals that are proposed by the Botha regime. And as a result, they need a broad front to do that. Now the formation, therefore, took a very unique format where people went back to their regions, started talking to their constituencies, consulting with their organizations, consulting with people in those areas. And in some areas, people went house to house to talk to the grassroots, to actually be involved with them to make this a reality. It resulted, therefore, in regional meetings held in various regions to discuss the formation of the UDF. And the common stand we have is that we reject the constitutional proposals and the Foreign-Hof Bill in a national and representative voice of the masses, because these will only serve to entrench the apartheid system.
From this point, there will, or we hope to have, as much participation from delegates as possible.
We do believe that the group areas and the removal of people have divided our community in such an extent that we cannot find each other. But we are so happy to know today that via the UDF, we as a community will be closer and closer drawn together.
That it is a very historic occasion today for all of us. And when that time comes that they want to remove our brothers from Langa and Nyanga against the rebel, we as other races, the colored and Indians, must be ready to go in action and stop the removal, even if we go to jail. By sitting here and watching our people being removed, what will be achieved?
When one talks of the rising cost of living, the increase in inflation, one wonders that over the years costs have gone up, and costs go up, but wages go up much slower. And when wages do go up, you find that the inflation is increased in such a way that it is always the big monopolies that benefit from these, and the masses in the township suffer.
I think it's abundantly clear at this point that the new constitution, that the Code of Bills definitely threaten our people, threaten our existence. The retention of the Group Areas Act and continued removal are but a part of this. Are there any further brief comments on Group Areas and removals, please?
While the Group Areas Act is the foundation of apartheid, the new dimension of removal, read in conjunction with one-off bills, is an added dimension which makes the entire spectrum of apartheid that much more easier for the regime to realize. It is in deference to these facts that we, as a United Democratic Front, have got to make a categoric stand and say that we are not blind to the designs and the devices of a regime that has become the outcast in the entire world of civilized people. It is in deference to this fact that we, through the United Democratic Front today, are saying enough is enough and we will take it no more.
I also give you comrades this afternoon. On behalf of this work that I had here today, and in a country, and also on the issue that I'm going to speak about, this has been an attack to us as women, the cost of living. And also the transport fares has gone up. Very difficult to feed our children from this cost of living. Our children are having lots of diseases because they don't have enough food. Government does not subsidize at all. That is why I'm so glad to come and bring these grievances to this big organization. When the people, all of us, are going to hear to our grievances, because it's all grievances against this government. So we are appealing to this United Democratic Front. We have no places to stay, comrades.
About the physical arrangements for the rally, Obviously, the hall is already quite full. What's going to happen at the rally this evening?
Well, people will have to squeeze up in the hall. The marquee will have to be used. Television screens will have to be used. Extended microphones will have to be used, and so on. There are a whole range of logistical arrangements which are presently being made, which hopefully will be adequate.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have elected an executive of the new National United Democratic Front, and the president of the United Democratic Front is made up, or the presidency is made up of 3 people. The presidency is made up of 3 people. I'll give you their names. Firstly, it's Mrs. Albertina Sisulu.
The only president to be with us here today, Comrade Archie Commander of the UDF. Thank you very much, comrade. From our own comrade and the father of the liberated South Africa, Comrade Nelson Mandela. Who said that despite the fact that he cannot be with us here in a physical sense, he is with us in a spiritual sense.
We'll go faster now. We're going to speed up now. We can show that this is a show of unity and of strength and of power. And I think from here, it's onwards to freedom. It's unity amongst the people.
Now. And South Africa is going to be free even if they don't want it or not. There's a list of things which is keeping the whole continent of Africa. I say, if they can't, those people, if they can't today see the change in this country, then the politicians who cannot read the change which are being shown in this country, then they can smell the freedom air which is sweeping the whole South Africa. Olisata! Mandela! Mandela! Olisata! Come out! Ronald Mhlaba, come out! Walter Sisulu, come out! Gordon Mbeki, come out! And all the rest of the political prisoners, we say we demand your release today because we want to take you home with us tonight. With all the blessings, I bless you all, you people here, and I'm asking the blessings to lead us all to our different towns, villages, and homes. And the same blessings, I say the people of Cape Town, who have kept us here and given them the blessings to remain with them. Now, with these few remarks, Mr. Chairman, I declare this rally open.
You all understand what that United Democratic Front is all about. You can see the banner there behind you, UDF. It is a front at this stage which is established for the sole purpose of struggling against the constitutional bills and the Kurnov Act, which are intended to entrench apartheid in our society. Apartheid must be banished from the face of South Africa. However, I wish to make it quite clear that slogans are helpful, but they are not the end of the road. To those slogans must be added sweat. To those slogans must be added labor and careful thought and careful action. Given the determination which I see among you, I have not the least doubt that we shall overcome.
We are committed religiously, from an Islamic point of view, to associate ourselves with the oppressed, to assist in bringing about a just society. Let it be said here today, clear and loud, as South Africans, we demand changes, not cosmetic changes. We demand the establishing of a democratic government representing all the people, for the people. Anything short of this will be non-democratic and anti-democratic, and as such will be unacceptable. We have been divided for too long, brothers and sisters. Our success and our survival depend on our unity.
And UDF is opening its door to welcome everybody from all persuasions to come and join the big march towards liberation. Brothers and sisters, the struggle is marching on, the struggle is moving on, but it is not important to have demagogues. It's not important to have rhetoric. What is important to have a definite program of action for the future. What are we going to do? What are we going to do? We must address ourselves to this whole question here. UDF, in order to be meaningful, must be action-oriented. UDF must be action-oriented. We must move from this place here. This is a whole battery that is charging us. We have come here to come and energize ourselves and to be charged as the terminals of this battery. And then we go back to our places to form branches of UDF throughout the country. We go back to build the image of UDF. We go back to popularize UDF. We go back to set up meaningful community development projects that are going to improve the quality of the life of people, that are going to show the people that there is hope at the end of the tunnel.
There's a message from the Food and Canning Workers Union. It says, we would like to express our support for your conference and our shared commitment to one united, non-racial and democratic South Africa. And I must read you this support, this message. It's from the Workers' Party in Ireland. It says, on the occasion of the founding conference of the UDF, the Irish Workers' Party sends you its warmest greetings and wishes you every success in your deliberations. We are confident that the establishment of the UDF will mark a major turning point in the struggle against brutal and degrading racial discrimination, and we particularly wish you success in exposing the fraudulent nature of the South African government's constitutional proposals.
Amanda! Although change is a word used by ministers of parliament and liberal bosses, we know that these changes are not based on the will of the people, because we do not have political rights, and because whatever changes are spoken about by those who decide for us are not in the interest of the workers, but in the interest of the bosses. We have to resist the proposed so-called reforms, constitutional proposals, and Korenhoff bills. Forward to the United Democratic Front. Forward to the workers' struggle. Forward to the people's democracy. Amanda! Workers are part of society, part of the community, and they form the largest section of the society. Therefore, changing society is the responsibility of workers, because we have that power. As workers, we experience problems in the factory, low wages, unhealthy and dangerous working conditions, lack of representation. This is the reality of our working day, and we in trade unions are fighting to change this. But when the factory gates close, we go back to our communities, our townships, and we experience problems there as well. With our poor wages, we have to pay high rent, unrealistic electricity bills, expensive transport. We live in overcrowded houses because there are not enough houses for us. And we as part of the community are fighting to change. In our schools, sabotage. You can't sabotage the working class. If you try to do so, you are committing a suicide.
The progress of this country, its wealth, has been produced by the workers in the factories, the farmers, and the mine workers. And the message of the UDF is that these people who are responsible for the progress and development of this country, that they must have a share in the destiny of this country. The rulers of this land had tried to break the unity of the people by creating institutions like the President's Council, the South African Indian Council. They've tried to get people to accept these institutions. But the people have made it clear that they are not things, that they are human beings, and that they are not for sale. And no matter how much they are offered, they will not accept these institutions.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to ask you to bear with us for a few minutes. I've got a speaker, a most unusual speaker. She's a little girl called Layla, and she's the daughter of Johnny Issel, who's well known to you. I'm going to ask her to stand on the table and say a few words.
My daddy cannot be here because he's banned. My daddy supports the UDF because he wants to see us free. He believes freedom will come in our lifetime. Amandla!
We are here to say that the government's constitutional proposals are inadequate and that they do not express the will of the vast majority of South Africa's people. More than that, we are here to say that what we are working for is one undivided South Africa which shall belong to all of its people. An open democracy from which no single South African shall be excluded, a society in which the human dignity of all its people shall be respected. We are here to say that there are rights that are neither conferred by nor derived from the state. To discover their origin, you have to move back beyond the dim mist of eternity. They are God-given. And so we are here not to beg for those rights, we are here to claim them. The most immediate reason for our coming together here today is the continuation of the government's apartheid policies as seen in the constitutional proposals. And in recent weeks, some people have asked me in the newspapers with more urgency than before, and I'm sure this question has been put to you as well. Why don't you see the positive side of apartheid? Now, Mr. Chairman, brothers and sisters, when you are white and when your children's education is guaranteed and paid for by the state, when your job is secure and blacks are prevented from being too much competition, and when your home has never been taken away and your citizenship of the country of your birth is not in danger, and when your children don't have to die of hunger and malnutrition, and when your overprivileged position is guaranteed by security laws and the best equipped army on the continent, then I can understand why some people believe that apartheid has its positive side. But for those of us who are black and for those of us who suffer under the system, there is no positive side. The time has come for white people in this country to realize that their destiny is inextricably bound with our destiny. And that they shall never be free until we are free. And I am so happy that so many of our white brothers and sisters are saying that today by their presence here among us. And it cannot be repeated often enough that all South Africans who love this country and who care for its future, black and white, Jew and Gentile, Christian and Muslim, have no option but to reject these proposals. It is in opposition to the will of God for this country, and we must resist it because in its claim to be Christian, apartheid is a blasphemy, idolatry, and a heresy. In the meantime, brothers and sisters, let me, as I've done before, remind you of three little words that I think we ought to hold on to as we continue the struggle. And these are three little words that express so eloquently our seriousness in the struggle. You do not need to have a vast vocabulary to understand them. You do not need a philosophical bent to grasp them. They are just three little words, and the first word is the word all. We want all of our rights, not just some rights. We want not just a few token handouts here and there that the government sees fit to give. We want all of our rights. We want all of South Africa's people to have their rights, not just a selected few, not just a few so-called coloreds or Indians after they had been made honorary whites. We want all of our rights for all of South Africa's people, including those whose citizenship has already been stripped away by this government. The second word is the word here. We want all of our rights, and we want them here in a united, undivided South Africa. And we do not want them in the impoverished homeland. We do not want them in our separate middle group areas. We want them here in this land which one day we shall once again. And the third word is the word now. We want all of our rights, and we want them here, and we want them now. And as we struggle on, let us continue to sing that wonderful hymn of freedom, that hymn that has sustained us through all these years and shall sustain us for the years to come. Let us continue to sing in Kosi Sikeleli Africa. We, the freedom-loving people of South Africa, say with one voice to the whole world that we cherish the vision of a united, democratic South Africa based on the will of the people. We will strive for the unity of all our people through united action against the evils of apartheid, economic and all other forms of exploitation. And in our march to a free and just South Africa, we are guided by these noble ideals. We stand for the creation of a true democracy in which all South Africans will participate in the government of our country. We stand for a single, non-racial, unfragmented South Africa. A South Africa free of Bantustan to group areas. We say all forms of oppression and exploitation must end in accordance with these noble ideals. And on this 20th day of August 1983, at Rocklands Civic Centre, Mitchell's Plain, we join hands as community, women, students, religious, sporting and other organizations and trade unions to say no to us. We say no to the Republic of South Africa Constitution Bill, a bill which will create yet another undemocratic constitution in the country of our birth. We say no to the Kurma Bill, which will deprive more and more African people of their birthright. We say yes to the birth of the United Democratic Front on this historic day. We know that the government is determined to break the unity of our people. We commit ourselves to uniting all our people wherever they may be, in the cities and the countryside, the factories and the mines, schools and colleges, universities, housing and sports fields, churches and mosques and temples to fight for our freedom. We therefore resolve to stand shoulder to shoulder in our common struggle and commit ourselves to work together to organize and mobilize all communities, workers, students, women, religious, sporting and other organizations under the banner of the United Democratic Front. To consult our people regularly and honestly and bravely and strive to represent their views and aspirations. To educate all about the coming dangers and the need for unity. To build and strengthen all organizations of the people. To unite in action against these bills and other day-to-day problems affecting our people. And now, therefore, we pledge to come together. In this United Democratic Front. And fight side by side. Against the government's constitutional proposal. And the Kurma Bill.